Well, hello, everybody. Welcome to our Monarch costume party. Welcome to the month of October, which is some of our favorite, that's our favorite month of the year here in the Lowry household. And I know we have some of our spooky authors here. We have our children's book illustrator, author, Rachael Clarke. She is here with her monster hat representing her monster story that we're going to talk a little bit about. We have Sandy Green, who is also a spooky middle grade author from lyrics and novel and verse. Cannot wait for you guys to read Sandy's work. And Cailtin Alexander, she's here with She's Still Here. And yes, Kate Sablowsky is still around and working book 2 right now. Penny Schnider, welcome. I'm going to give you guys a chance to introduce yourself more, but Penny is the graphic novelist. She is an author for our children's line for Artie. Cannot wait, y'all. Penny, we're going to be doing some drawing, Rachael, later with Penny. Georgie, thank you for being here. Georgie's dressed up representing her mom's work. Oh, and there's Ghost Guy. Now that I love. Ghost Guy is out here. I appreciate you joining us for our spooky event. And Stacey Bartlett, our author for Monster Mountain, another spooky book that's going to be coming out in 2025, but she also is a sweet romance author too, so for Free Things to See. So I appreciate all of our Monarchs joining us today, and we have decided, spur of the moment, to go ahead and record this and post it for everyone to see. So these are our private Zoom events that we have once a month. Next month, we're going to have another Zoom event. There's 100 tickets always available. You guys can jump in with us. We're going to be doing our NaNoWriMo write-in next month. So that one's going to be a super early to help with the time zones for some of our other authors who live around the world. And that one's going to be scheduled coming up soon. So we've already got it scheduled. I'm going to share more about that. I've got a slideshow presentation that's going to help us today to stay on track so everyone can see that. And I am getting ready to share my screen. All right. So here we go, guys. So our website, monarcheducationalservices.com, make sure you check it out because all of our authors are here. Our last private event, they're like, can you do a one-pager? Stacey, we have too many authors for a one-pager. Best thing to say for people is go to our website and then you can see all of our authors, what they write in. We have it broken up from middle grade, young adult, and our K-5 children's books. So please make sure you check out monarcheducationalservices.com. So now I want to spend just a little bit more time so our authors can get to know you too. You can put questions in the chat if you want to, that those of you that are here in our Zoom event. But we can start with Sandy Green since she just popped up on my screen. Go ahead, Sandy.
Well, I write novels in verse, and so I have one that's coming out in next year in May 2024, and it's called Ghost Riders: The Haunting of Lake Lucy, and it's hopefully it'll be something that will appeal to kids because of the content being a ghost story, and because it's written in verse, hopefully it'll appeal to maybe kids who are reluctant readers and get them into reading something and not really realize, oh, I'm really into this story now, and have the confidence to go on and read more books. So that's kind of what I'm doing.
So absolutely love that. I really appreciate you being here. Tell us a little bit about your background, Sandy.
Oh, well, I've been writing for several years, but I started writing poetry more exclusively about 5 or 6 years ago, and really worked on that and got published in some literary journals and journals that are international and in university. So I really feel like I kind of paid my dues with that. And then I realized that, hey, novels in verse are very popular now, and why don't I try it? So I tried that, and I just loved it. I just thought it was so much fun to convert and kind of chisel away the words that weren't maybe extraneous words and really get to the meat of the story. So I really feel like that's my thing right now. I really like doing that right now.
Love it. Thank you so much, Sandy. All right, Penny Schneider, you're on to the right of me, so let's go.
I'm Penny Schneider. I am an author illustrator, and my debut children's graphic novel is coming out in September 2024. It features Artie, who is a purple betta fish, if you can see. And he's not your ordinary betta fish. Betta fish, normally they're warrior fish. They see another fish and they fight. But Artie's different. He wants to make a friend. He's lonely. So he goes out trying to find out if that's actually possible for a betta fish to do. And he makes some friends and things along the way. I don't want to give a lot away, but he has a lot of fun on the way, and he realizes that he can be a friend and make a friend. But
tell us a little bit about your background, Penny.
I am a high school art teacher. I've been teaching, this is my 31st year in Long Island, Massapequa. I teach so many different things. I teach drawing and painting. I've taught ceramics and sculpture and printmaking, so many things. But yeah, that's what I do. And I've been writing children's books since my daughter was little. I started making up stories for her. She's a big reading fan, always was. And when we went to the library and we looked for a book for something and we couldn't find a book, I would make up a story. And then I started to write some of them down. So I have many. And Artie started probably about 4 years ago. I started writing Artie about that, and I have a lot of friendship stories and things. And then I started illustrating them. I became a member of SCBWI 2000, about 10 years actually, almost. I've been a member of SCBWI. Yeah, and I love it.
Well, we love you, Penny, and we're really excited. At the end of our session today, we're going to get to draw with Penny. So we also have another illustrator in this room, Rachael Clarke. She's an author illustrator, and she's brought us a spooky Sandy Green. You're going to love it. So now I would love to spotlight Rachael. And Rachael, tell us all about you and your upcoming book.
Yes, hi, Rachael Clarke. Yeah, I have been fortunate enough for Monarch Press to love my picture book called The Annual Monster Club Meeting, and pretty excited about it. It's a rhyming picture book all about if you've ever okay, so here's the background. My kids are obsessed with Toy Story for a long time, and I love Disney and I love Monsters Inc. and there's lots of inspirations, but those were a couple of them. And I just kind of got this idea for, what if monsters loved their kids so much, but they were just so big and bulbous and toothy and winged and big. Everything was just too hard to love those kids the way they wanted to. And so I thought, well, maybe they need a support group too. So anyways, that's kind of what it's about. It's just a fun little tale about monsters just love their kids a lot and just want to find a way to spend time with them in a safe way. So yeah, that's coming out next year sometime. And
next October, so we're a year away. Super excited.
Woohoo! It'll be my very first picture book that comes out on the market, which is awesome. I've written and illustrated a children's chapter book that I've put out in the world myself called The Big Old Bike.
Yes, I highly recommend that for every middle school person out here in the world. The Big Old Bike, I love it. I have a copy, 5-star on the shelf. Trust, love it.
Oh, thank you. And then I do have another side of my writing life, and I write adult fiction, speculative fiction, mostly sci-fi and fantasy as well. So I'm kind of dipping my toes in a lot of pools, but yeah, it's tons of fun. So.
All right, love it, Rachael. Thank you so much for being here with us today. And Rachael, you feel a little under the weather, but I love your monster hat.
Yeah, I had to throw it on. I figured, why not?
Appreciate it. All right, now we're going to go to Stacey Bartlett. Stacey also has a monster book coming out, and like I said earlier, she's a sweet romance author too, with contemporary YA. So Stacey, come on, tell us a little bit about what you've got going on.
Okay, well, my contemporary sweet romance is coming in less than a year. It's hard to believe, it's slipping up fast. It's next September 2024. And then in February, right after that, not right after, but a few months after, is at a complete turnaround, my middle grade fantasy, Portal Fantasy. So super excited about both of those.
So Stacey, tell us a little bit about your writing background.
Well, I went to college and graduated with a degree in psychology, then moved back to North Carolina and promptly did not a thing with it. Never did a thing, got married, started having my family and homeschooling. And I've been a homeschool mom for over 20 years. But similar to Penny, when I was in the library one day, I've always loved to write. When I was in the library one day, I was rocking my littlest one to sleep for a nap, and the ending to my first novel just came into my mind. It was just there, completely there. And I fumbled around in my backpack and pulled out a pen and a piece of paper, wrote the ending down. And when I went home, I got out a notebook, got up at 6 o'clock the next morning and started writing, and I've been writing ever since. So.
Oh, I love it. Well, we're so glad that you have, because Free Sings the Sea has some thriller-esque moments in it. We'll have you on this seat, guys. It's like nail-biting parts of that sweet romance too, but then we've got Monster Mountain, like you said, a complete switch turnaround. And if any Bigfoot fans out there, you're really going to love this one. Now, Cailtin Alexander, I know something about you. Your book started with a what if. A what if brainstorming with your husband. Tell us a little bit more about that.
In this playroom behind me, which now my son's moved to that room. So when you see me get up and go, that's what I'm doing. I'm not avoiding. I'm just making sure he's fine. Yeah, we were just sitting on the floor spitballing, and I had an idea, and I said, what if there was a girl who had some kind of power that she could see who weren't here anymore, but then she had to use that as a skill to like help them in a middle school age range. And we went back and forth. And by the end of it, we had it pretty much outlined. So I have to thank my husband for helping me get those ideas verbalized, but there it is.
Go. It was going to disappear in the background. Yep, she's still here. Kate Sablowsky, Paranormal Investigator Series Book 1 has been out since February. We did a We Love Spooky month for Valentine's Day for February. And how has that felt? Like all year, you have been chosen as a Kirkus editorial pick and was in the April magazine for Kirkus. So congratulations for that. Now you are a reader's favorite winner. Super happy for that medal you just won. Like,
that was really unexpected. It's all been just such an incredible year, an incredible blessing, something that I never saw coming. And I promise book 2 is closer than it seems. Like that draft it's getting there. It's just, I'm taking my time with it, but I gotta get it going.
So now that we have you spotlighted, we would love it if you would give us a little peek of She's Still Here. So I'm going to mute myself, and I'm going to
let me let this dog out really fast before she.
So while she's letting the dog out, I just want to we could start singing that song. Come on, Penny. That would be something class, I'm sure. We are going to be able to highlight Cailtin. We've had Lindsay Hobson here with us today, but her daughter is in a baseball tournament and they won. So now they have a new game that was just popped up. So she was going to read a piece of The Girl in the Window. We're going to talk a little bit about that spooky because it's ready for ARCs and how you can sign up to be on our ARC team. We're going to share that out in a few minutes, but now we're ready for Cailtin.
Yes, I feel like most Monarchs have read it at this point, but I hope the folks tuning in are surprised at least. So Dr. Jen designed these really neat chapter starters with these kind of flames to kind of set the tone for each chapter, which I love. Okay, here goes nothing. A door slammed, shattering the stillness of the empty Ravendale Middle School. I heard it from the 7th grade hallway, the sound bouncing off the lockers on either side of me. From any outside entrance, it would only take a person 20 seconds to reach the chem lab where it happened. I shot to attention, punching the record button on my camera as firmly as I could. I shoved it in my backpack and left the compartment unzipped. Good video wasn't necessary, but the audio had to be clear. I kept my eyes glued toward the direction of the sound. Armed with only a softball bat, I inched backward and positioned myself in front of my friend, spreading my arms wide to shield her from the approaching evil. Pounding footsteps filled the hall. The only other movement came from particles of dust floating around us, made visible by a single fluorescent light above. The rest of the hallway was dark. I shuddered, thinking of what was about to emerge from that darkness. "We'll be okay. Everything is going to be okay," I whispered, not believing my own words for even a second. The steps drew closer. They belonged to a murderer, a killer who had stolen the life of a child and was now on the way to meet us. Yay!
That was great.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you so much for reading for us, Caitlin Alexander. And you said that when you were out of school and you read that part, what was the reaction of that class?
I don't remember if it was like the first, I don't know, it might have been like the second grade class or the third grade class, but several of them went, it was the funniest thing to see multiple hands. Some kid shouted like, "You can't leave us dangling like that," or something sweet. They were so supportive. But I have a visit. I haven't told you this yet, Jen, but I think in 2 weeks to a retirement community. They've been reading, so I'm going to go visit with them a little bit, which is kind of fun that they picked middle grade. I love that.
Yes, middle grade for life. I don't know about you guys, but middle grade YA, children's picture books, that's where my life, my joy lives. I don't care how I'm almost 50 and look at me like celebrating. She's still here. So I absolutely love it, Caitlin. Thank you so much for being with us. And like you said, if you have to zoom in and out, we totally understand.
Got my wings for that, my Monarch wings. So that's fine. I'll fly in and out.
Love it. Now I need purple wings. Purple wings. All right. So guys, now we're going to go. I'm going to, let's see, Caitlin, you are in the spotlight. And now I am going to share our screen. There we go. So we've met our authors. Now we want to just let everybody know that we are going to be live streaming at 7 p.m. And yes, today was a great chance for us to check that live stream out. So now I know I've got some work to do. We're going to be on my YouTube channel on October the 10th. And I'm going to put the link in the description. You're going to get to meet not only Angelique Burrell, but you guys get to meet her agent, Bonnie Swanson. So she's going to be here with us. So we're going to be doing some behind the scenes, some Q&A. We're going to have some thriller games and giveaways. And we just want to be able to honor Angelique. So that's what really our book birthdays are all about, is to give her that special time where we get to celebrate her and all of the work that goes in to putting on a book and getting it out there to the world. So that's coming up. That is going to be on Tuesday. So now for those of you who are here in our event, so that means Ghost Guy, we're going to give away a bookish prize at the end of this, where you get to choose an ebook of your choice from our Monarch collection that has already been released. So we've got those on the screen for everyone. Please go to our website, monarcheducationalservices.com, to check out all of our authors, because you've met authors here today. Their books aren't out yet, but their links are there for you to be able to follow them online on social media. And this what? Pre-order. We have some books that are already out for pre-order. Landis is our next book release. That's coming out in November. In December, Stephanie Cotta. January is The Memory Quilt, and Simon the Snake is in February. So those are our upcoming releases. We're super excited about all of those. And look at this spooky. So yes. So Caitlin, if you want to hold your book cover up again, we're going to give a shout out. There's Corinne Lindberg's work. So she did She's Still Here. She did the cover for Caitlin's, and also Lindsay Hobson's. So this is actually painted with acrylic. She does such an amazing job.
The best.
You guys get to meet Izzy early because the ARCs are ready, which means that we are going to be sending out our ARCs tomorrow. So if you want to sign up to be on our ARC team and get the girl in the window early for an honest review, it helps us to spread the love and joy around our Monarch books. So we do have some limited ARCs. Please sign up, and we are looking forward to having you on our team. So any favorite spooky books? we've got to give a shout out. Stacey, go ahead and unmute and tell us the books represented in your house right now.
Am I unmuted?
Yes, you are.
Okay. What did you want me to tell you?
Let's talk about your son dressed up.
Well, the spookiest books in my house are his Goosebumps books. We aren't too spooky, but he was my child who loved spooky from the very, very start. My other ones weren't that spooky, but you want to come over so they can see you a little bit better? You might have to. Can you see him?
Love it.
This is my scarecrow. He that's what he loves. So yeah, I'm thankful for the spooky writers, thankful for our Monarchs. That's when his reading really took off. Is there's just something special about finding the right book for the right child. And that's the ones that we love, and how we have to get one after the other, but we're enjoying our Monarch spooky books as well.
Love it. Thank you so much for being the scarecrow that walks at midnight from Goosebumps. Absolutely love it. Georgie, what a creative costume. Did you help brother with that? I love it.
I didn't, unfortunately. I wish I could have, but he's so good at it. I just let the master work.
Way to go. I'm so proud of you. Absolutely love your costume. And here's a book recommendation too. It's not a Monarch book. Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark by Alvin Schwartz. It's going to disappear in my background. There, I have to put it in front of my face. But that's one too, Stacey, that I recommend for young readers. How many of you read this one? Any of my Monarchs have read this one? Cailtin.
But yeah.
What do you think, Cailtin?
Oh, so good. So good.
All right. Any other spooky recommendations for K-12?
Oh, anything Mary Downing Hahn. Love her.
Love her.
Wait Till Helen Comes, Girl in the Locked Room, Deep and Dark and Dangerous. They're all fantastic.
And Kelly Martin is one of our editors here at Monarch. And Kelly Martin was not able to join us today, but I want to give, oh, look, wait, Rachael's got one too in just a minute. Yes, love it. I have that series too. Kelly Martin is a horror author, and she has spooky middle grade and spooky young adult. She does work in the adult world as well, like many of us do. We have a lot of books out there for different ages, but I would really recommend Kelly Martin's books. So you've got to check her out. Her spooky middle grades are just enough spooky, Stacey. Not too spooky, but spooky enough. That's what I love. And Trinity Row was really scary. It's a YA, and it scared me. I'm like, oh wow. So absolutely love Kelly Martin's work. So I want to give her a special shout out today. Rachael Clarke, get off that mute and tell us more about your recommendation.
Hollow City. Now I don't have a lot of like really spooky books, like, so this is like one of, I fell at like 40% off. Obviously I got a good deal on this, but anyway, I got the whole series and I read through them really fast. Like I just burned through them, and they're so good. They are spooky, like they're kind of creepy and eerie, you know, just like the vibe that it gives you, because they have all these creatures and yet these kids have these abilities, and but it pulls together with these characters. It's a really good read. Like for anyone that kind of likes kind of this old haunted kind of vibe, with some special abilities in their characters, they should definitely check it out. So yeah, it was good.
I have a couple of suggestions. One was Long Way Down by Jason Reynolds. Did anybody has it? That's a YA, and it's available in verse and as a graphic novel.
I haven't done the graphic novel, but I've read it in verse, and that one is a thriller that is absolutely amazing. It will, like, you just don't know how it's so out.
Clever, and it takes place in an elevator. That's the entire book, and it's amazing. And the other one I liked was The Deep, Dark, and Dangerous, but also Doll Bones by Holly Black. That was creepy. It was 3 kids on a quest to do a creepy doll's bidding. That was really good too.
And KP Alexander is also a creepy book author, like scary author to me. Like, y'all, we could just keep talking about Rick. Anybody else have a recommendation? Any other spookies? Penny's like, no. Warrior Fish is spooky enough for me. All right. Thank you so much, Sandy, for sharing those recommendations. I absolutely love Long Way Down. All right, guys, I'm going to share my screen again because now we are getting ready to write some haikus. So, for those of you who are watching this recording, we would love for you to put your spooky haiku in the chat. That would make our day. Think about a Halloween tradition or a fall tradition, even if you don't want it to be spooky. It could be something about pumpkin spice and everything nice about fall. But let's write some haiku. Sandy, we're doing this in honor of you because in your haunted book, you have haiku. It's not only just like a free verse or a blackout poetry, or you have so many different styles of poetry in your novel in verse, which we're going to start calling a horror in verse. And so do you want to speak about haiku, Sandy, before we get started?
Well, I do know that technically they need to have something to do with the season or the weather, I believe. So that has to tie into it. And like you have up here 575 syllables, and it doesn't have to rhyme. And that's all I could really think of. I think what I was trying to do in the book was like quickly convey a mood or reaction that has some kind of emotion attached to it. So and I was working, this is something different, but I was recently working with a tanka, which is 31 syllables. And it's related to the haiku, but it's a little bit, it's a 57577. And that has to as well do with nature, weather, and then a shift to something that has some kind of meaning for you. Anyway, but yeah, haiku, I know Tish writes them, and I just think they're hard, but I think they're very meaningful because of how abbreviated they are. And that's the whole idea, is to get right to the heart and elicit some kind of emotion through your senses, and remember that, how does that make you feel, rather than what is the poet or what is the author trying to say, more like, well, how do you feel about that? So yeah, I think I'm going to start working on something.
Oh, so let's all start working on something right now. Let's write a haiku. I've got a picture prompt here if you want to look at a spooky house. This is in honor of Lindsay Hobson's The Girl in the Window. So I just went out and found one for her spooky book that's coming up. But it can be for whatever you would like. I'm going to the chat if anybody here would like to drop one. Cailtin, it is not the worst. It is not the worst. All right, we've got 2 in the chat already. So, Ghost Guy, every fall season, I decorate my walls with lots of pumpkins. Absolutely love that one. Caitlin Alexander put hers in, and she put in the chat for everyone. No, she said, I'm a horrible poet, literally the worst. No, you're not, Caitlin. Cobwebs, ghosts, and lights, shadows that linger on streets, joy in the unknown. Caitlin, what? Such a cool one.
I love to read it. I can't write it at all, but I love to read it.
Read yours again, because I got so excited I forgot that you were like right here.
Oh. Cobwebs, ghosts, and lights, shadows that linger on streets, joy in the unknown. Blech.
No, absolutely the coolest ever. Okay. Oh, Sandy Green has hers ready. Let me highlight Sandy. Go, Sandy.
Girl in the window, won't you please let me out? I'm waiting for you.
Lindsay Hobbs is going to love that representation. Thank you so much, Sandy. Love it. And yes, the girl in the window who is waiting. She's been waiting a long time for a friend who she just may want to keep forever. Ooh, that kind of vibe. All right, Rachel Clarke. Rachel's got one. Okay, listen. Rachael in the chat, she said she's never written a haiku except in grade school, like ages ago. Well, it's time we've started the haiku back because they're so much fun. All right, Rachael.
All right. Jack-o'-lantern wakes. Its mouth splits, jagged with light. Time for Halloween.
Absolutely love it.
Yeah, I tried.
And you won. Successful. Okay, let's go. Penny's ready. Penny said she's never written a haiku before. If this is your first time writing a haiku,
I think so.
congratulations, Penny. You're now a poet. All right, Penny.
Mine is inspired by, I did a Monarch pumpkin. So my Monarch pumpkin, it is silly and creepy, butterfly face peeps at me.
You love it so much. So now if we see Penny online on Instagram sharing all of her art, and then she's going to have haiku to go with it, we know that we've seen praise. Anybody else want to go? Do you want to try your hand at one? Stacey, did you write one?
I did. Sorry, I'm still not good with the chat, but mine says the dry leaves rustle. A barn owl hoots on the wing. October arrives.
Love it so much. Let's see if Georgie wants to share one. Did Georgie write a haiku?
I'm still in the process. I haven't written it yet. I'm still in the process of writing it, but I'll see. Those are all such good ones.
They are. Love it. Okay, so I've got mine, and mine is to honor my boys. Set up spooky rooms, hide with grins under masks and fog, waiting to scare kids.
That was good.
A complete haunted house in our front yard with including maze and spooky rooms. So yes, absolutely loved scary. My kids never did trick-or-treating, really. They were always in a scare house themselves trying to scare kids as they walked through trick-or-treating. So that one, we decorated. We probably won't have any trick-or-treaters anymore, but we still decorated yesterday. So we have the full haunted house vibe going on out in front of our house. So all right, so now that we've done our haikus, I want us to play a little game. Okay, so I have them built out in our slides, but I'm not going to show them. You guys have just got to call them out, so everybody can get off of mute if you'd like, or you could put your answers in the chat, and we're going to play Would You Rather. So would you rather go to a haunted attraction or go trick-or-treating or trunk-or-treating? Which one would you rather do? Go.
An attraction.
Chocolate attraction. Who
Trick or
else?
treat.
Bring in the chat or in person.
You can put it in either one.
Attraction.
Attraction.
You're
Go
shocked.
said both. I'm doing both. There's no way
Oh,
you
for
can do
sure.
this. You want candy and to be scared. Love it.
I'd say trick or treating.
Oh, candy. What's your favorite candy, Sandy?
Anything chocolate,
Oh.
but
Okay.
milk chocolate.
So would you rather be on a thrill ride roller coaster or go on a haunted hayride?
Roller coaster.
No.
Roller coaster, I'd have to say.
Both.
Haunted hayride is Sandy, Ghost Guy, me. Yeah, I'm actually scared of roller coasters. Not haunted hayrides. Penny, both would scare Penny. So if we make a trip for Monarchs meet up at Busch Gardens, Halloween one year, that means Penny's not getting on the roller coasters. Cailtin, how cool will it be if we met at Williamsburg as Monarchs and we went to Williamsburg, Virginia for Halloween?
I would lose it. That would be so much fun.
Absolutely. All right, guys, that's like a dream. Like seriously, we need to be taking up funds. Would you rather watch spooky movies or read spooky books?
Both again.
Yeah, both.
Both. It's so hard. Ghost Guy, watch spooky movies. Yeah, I love a good spooky movie.
That's
So
hard.
fun.
Georgie, that's hard for you. Which one would you pick?
I say reading because I think I don't really know of that many scary movies. I just haven't, though Jamie tries to get me to watch them. I need recommendations because I don't know of any ones really.
Okay, I've got a long list. I can hook you up later with it. Would you rather go on a ghost walk or go on a trail walk? I know Penny already. Would you just
Trail
walk the trails, Penny, or would you want to do the ghost walk? I want to
Trails.
Ghost Guy and I ghost walk for us.
Mm-hmm.
Andy said trail walk. Penny, did I guess you correctly?
Yes.
We already know every answer. Rachael, would you do a ghost walk, a ghost tour?
I would do a ghost walk only if I was like with my husband, because if I was by myself, no way.
Wilmington has a ghost walk. Cailtin, do y'all have ghost walks near your like cities and things like that?
Yeah, I've actually been on like a ton. There's some in the Twin Cities, but I've done them like all over where I've traveled. I was just in San Francisco this summer. I did one there, and it's just like not to go like see ghosts. It's just you hear the fun, long time stories that people have been telling for decades and decades, and it's so fun to hear the storytellers.
Oh yeah, I can't wait. I'm gonna do the one in Wilmington, so I'll let you guys know if that'll be my first and last ghost walk, or if I'm gonna be hooked or not. All right, our last question: would you rather listen to ghost stories around a fire or go to a fun costume party?
Costume party.
Costume party.
Yeah, costume party.
Everybody's like
Costume
costume.
party.
Everybody got a costume party.
I
Except
didn't.
Sandy. Sandy is listen to ghost stories around the fire.
Ghost stories for sure.
So yeah, I grew up, my kindergarten teacher, Georgie, told us about the woman with the golden arm at Halloween. If you guys ever run a really spooky ghost story, I can like tell that one privately. And my kindergarten teacher is the reason why I love spooky to this day, Cailtin, I believe, because she scared the mess out of us little children on Halloween about the woman who's looking for her missing golden arm. Like it's a really creepy story, and you would think, why would you tell that to 5-year-olds? But
Like kindergarten.
this is the true story in public education back in 1980. When I was 5 years old. So I love it. I love it. I think I would listen to the ghost stories around the fire. All right. Speaking of Penny, all right, Penny, it's time for you to share the love and help us draw before we leave something that we can have with us to take out of here. And I am going to pin you so everybody can see you.
Okay. Maybe I'll see if I can sit up a little bit more. Ah, there we go. Okay, so your first step, you can draw with whatever you like. Think about what kind of a pumpkin you want. I'm going to take my wizard cape off so I can draw better. Think about what kind of pumpkin you'd like. So think about what kind of character you'd like to make him. So I made this Monarch one. So I have my butterfly that has a little creepy face in it there. But really, you can make it almost anything. So I think I'm going to make a tall, skinny one now. So you start with your basic shape. So I'll sketch something out. Let's see. And draw something quick here. So if I have a basic shape like that of a pumpkin, so a little tip, when you're drawing pumpkins, if you're drawing those little indents, you want to keep it with the contour, the shape of your pumpkin, which is like a rounded shape. Some people like to make straight lines. That means you're making like flat fruit roll-up kind of pumpkin, and we don't want to do that to our pumpkin. So we want to keep him a little rounded. So we make it like that, give it a little bit of some kind of a stem. And then you want to think about what kind of a personality you want to give to your pumpkin. Let's see, for a long, skinny face. Let's see what I'll do. How about give him some larger eyes. Also, if you do a bigger one and a smaller one, makes them look a little more silly. I always like to add eyebrows into my things. And I'm starting off a little bit like that. Let's see. I'm going to let him be a silly guy. So I'm going to let him be cross-eyed a little bit because he's trying to be wacky. Color in his eyebrows a little bit. And I think I'm going to give him some funny little teeth here. He's not too scary. As you can tell already, I'm not into the scary. I'll have nightmares and I won't sleep for a month if anything's too scary. And then I can start to, so I'll give him a little chin. Then I can start to shade him up. So as far as shading, so any place that things go in or are like covering something else, you would shade a little darker. Anywhere that your light is hitting, like sticking out more, I would keep it a little lighter. And highlights, you can actually, I tell my students, you can actually draw in with your eraser at the end. So how I shade, actually, I'm not holding my pencil like this. I'm holding my pencil like this. So I'm getting like more of the lead down at once. So, and with more pressure, you're going to get a darker value with your pencil. And if I push a little lighter, so here I started to do the stem of him. And I could just keep shading. If you want to give him, like some pumpkins have, I don't know, we like to go pumpkin picking. So the ones that have like all little different textures and things to them, you can also add those in. And as you're shading them in, you also think of the same thing like I told you before. Don't go straight up and down or straight across like that. You're flattening him out, unless you want like, you know, flat Stanley pumpkin. But you want to like round them out. So think about like you're feeling the object with your pencil. So you're kind of rounding them out a little bit, and he'd go a little darker under here, darker around your edges. Where it's sticking out here would be a little lighter. And where you're going in those little crevices and things, you'd shade in a little bit more. So you'd get it a little darker. I think I'm going to make my eyes look like they're popping out a little bit. So I'm going to shade a little bit around them. I always tell my students, start light until you get it right. So you can always get darker, but it's harder to, once you make it dark, it's harder to kind of get it erased. Then it looks like they have scars. And we don't want, well, you might want a pumpkin with scars. that may be a little Halloweeny for you. And once you have your light lines the way you like them, you just refine them and then you can go over them a little bit. I think I'm going to give him a little freckles too. I think he needs some freckles. You can draw on whatever you want, but I happen to love pencils. And you can add your drawing to your spooky stuff in your house for Halloween. And if at any point anybody wants to show theirs, just let us know.
Oh, yes.
I have Penny in the highlight spotlight right now. So if anybody's ready to show, y'all let me know. Sandy has got this look of glee.
No, I don't think it's glee. I think it's sad.
Oh, no.
Here, wait,
Wait.
Sandy, let me pin you so we can actually see you. Oh, wait, there it is. Oh,
It's adorable.
it looks
It's
like,
supposed to be a cat.
Adorable.
it looks like a puppy dog pumpkin. Am I right? Or not?
Yeah.
Well, it's supposed to be a cat, but it could be a dog.
Yeah. Okay. I'm just missing the whiskers. That was it. I was like, maybe it was a puppy dog. I love it. Anybody else courageous enough to share their pumpkin drawing?
I'll share mine, Jim, and I'm not proud of it, but I'll share it.
Okay, hold on. Let me remove the spotlight so I can find everybody. What do you mean you're not proud of it?
That's awesome. I love the eyebrows too.
Thank you.
Let me
Here's
see,
Jim.
Jamie.
Oh, I love it.
That's cute.
He's scary.
That is a scary mouth. That is scary eyes and a mouth.
It's a bunch of vultures circling a pumpkin.
Whoa.
Super scary.
That's great.
Anybody
Okay.
else ready to share?
Okay, I will attempt. I will share.
All right, Georgie's gonna share. I'm spotlighting Georgie.
Oh,
Oh, I love it. I love the big eyes.
Like, it's not me. I'm innocent. Look the other way.
Yeah. Look at
Penny's a
him.
Penny's a very good teacher.
Oh,
Yeah.
I see you learned something from my last one with the shadow on the bottom.
Yes, I took little notes so I could remember them later.
Good job.
Penny just did an illustration techniques and behind the scenes with Monarch at our last event. So everybody was drawing vegetables and turning them into vegetable personalities and loving it and talking about it for days. Thought we had to do this. All right. Okay. Anybody else ready? Let's see if you guys can see mine.
Oh, that's awesome.
I don't know.
It's coming in and out. It's kind of like a ghost.
Yeah.
I can take I have to take there. Oh, there it is.
Oh, he's scary.
Oh,
I
yeah.
can make a scary one. Oh no, there's Landon. I don't want to scare him with my scary pumpkin.
Bright lights. What he's scared of is mommy's terrible pumpkin.
Oh, that's good.
Well,
Mommy,
here's-
you were pretty.
Yeah. Oh, wow. That's great.
This is awesome.
Oh, wait, Penny, let me go ahead and highlight you so everybody can see that one better.
Oh, wow.
Cute.
That's terrific.
The pumpkin. See?
All
And I
right.
can keep doodling and doodling.
Wait, I think Rachel's ready. I saw
let's
the
see.
paper. Let's go, Rachel. Oh, it's blurry. There it is.
Oh, there it is. Awesome. That's awesome.
Love.
He looks like he is scared.
I have a horrible camera, so yeah. It's kind of
scared of Jamie's pumpkin over there. That was the reaction. That was it. All right, guys. So anybody have any last minute shares of final pumpkins? I think we've got all of them done. So now, here we go. We are getting ready to give away some spooky books from Monarch. You can choose She's Still Here as one of ours that has already been released since February, or you can choose another one of our Monarch books. So if you have joined us today in our private Zoom, in the chat, I am going to go ahead and put in our email, monarcheducationalservices@gmail.com. So Ghost Guy, you're the winner. I would love it if you would email me and you can get a free Monarch book sent your way today. So congratulations. So everybody, I just want to say I love having our events. I love being able to just spend some time with the Monarchs. We get to know each other better. Really enjoy the time that we can have Penny Schneider here with us so she can lead us in some illustration work. Rachael Clarke's little monster hat is waving in approval right now. So I would just like to say from everybody, from all of the Monarchs, and for those Monarchs that were not able to be here today, that we truly appreciate everybody taking the time. Lannon's clapping with the pumpkin, taking the time to be with us and to share in our love of spooky season. And just stay tuned for Monarch, because Tuesday night we have got Angelique Burrell's thriller. It's out. It came out on October the 3rd, and we're having her live stream book birthday party on YouTube. So super excited about that. We have the ARC release ready for The Girl in the Window, our spooky middle grade from Lindsay Hobson. You got to get Caitlin Alexander's book. It's in paperback, hardcover, and in ebook. And Caitlin, you're getting ready to go do a nursing home event, but you're available to do school events, virtual events. So you guys, if you're
anytime, happy to do them.
Email Caitlin. Just go to our website at monarcheducationalservices.com and you can just find our authors there. You can always find us online. But we just want to say thank you to everybody for being here, and happy spooky month. We hope that you have a fun and safe holiday season around our month of spooky. All right, guys.
Thank you, Dr. Jen. Thanks for our leader.
Bye,
Dr.
guys.
Thank you.
Bye.